The history of firearms is also the history of civilization. I mean, you can go back pretty far to the origins of, gunpowders and things that went bang up to today, and trace almost every civilization from that point on through the firearms that they used and that were part of their makeup, including the United States. I mean, let's face it, without the use of firearms, there would not be United States of America. There obviously was a thing called the American Revolution, and it wasn't fought with rocks and sticks.
What appealed to, I think, Joe and I both, was that it was going to be a very sort of historical, sort of documentary style show about the history of firearms. And I think the concept of each episode being about one firearm and telling the history of that as best you can in a half an hour, we thought that was a pretty cool idea.
I think we are one of the definitive shows that tell the history of it, how these things function, its place in history. Pick a century, pick a decade, and there are going to be certain firearms, especially in different cultures, that are going to have a strong impact. There is a very strong educational aspect to the show. You pick the culture, you pick the continent, and there's going to be something there that there's going to be a firearm that somehow was very influential in the history of that country, and in some instances defined even the existence of that particular country.
What I enjoy about the show, for myself personally, is that I learn a lot about these firearms and the people behind them, and I'm surprised how often an inventor of an amazing firearm wasn't a gun inventor. Like he was one guy was a photographer, another guy was an engineer. They all come from these different walks of life, but they have this idea, and they turn it into something really interesting. This is our 5th season. We've done something like 50 or 60 episodes now. Same crew from the beginning. Tim Kremen, our director, and Michael Bain, the writer. We really gel now. We really kind of know what each other's thinking. And I'm really excited about the future seasons because every year we seem to add another element that we didn't have the year before. This year it's going to be the animations. Next year, who knows? We've talked about even adding some reenactment stuff.
I think we've come a long way from season 1 to season 5. It's been a lot of fun because they've got me doing a lot more and got me shooting a lot more. I've shot everything from the smallest Derringer to 50 cal and everything in between. And I think this season you'll see that the Gatling gun kind of got my attention. It's just been a wonderful ride. I mean, we've had a great time. We've traveled all different parts of the world. I've shot just about anything that has a projectile coming down a barrel. And the good thing is we haven't even scratched the surface. I mean, the history of firearms is long and varied, and we've still got a long way to go.